Boom. Hey, welcome back to Crypto Mischief. We're talking about my favorite thing in the entire world, goddamn cryptocurrency. I have some guests today, quite a few guests actually, a plethora of guests. How are we going? Let's go, guys. Surprise.
What is up?
Cool. So we do have in the house, we have Aaron, who we have on the thumbnail for it. So hi, Aaron. How are you doing today?
Great, man. Happy to be here and happy to have a bunch of my team with me.
Yeah, we have the Crypto Arborist. Welcome.
Thank you.
We have Crypto Knight.
Hey, what's going on, everyone?
And my Crypto Cuban.
What's up, guys? Happy to be here. Excited to have this talk.
Yeah, man. Like this is great. We were only expecting, us two, and then we put the feelers out, and then we got 5 people. It's amazing. It's fantastic. Cool. So we're here today to do a general discussion about mint stake share, as we often like to do on these channels, because it's a lot going on, and I'm sure a lot of people have questions and they want to learn different things about the protocol. So we're going to go through a couple things today, which some of you guys, most of you, maybe all of you, don't even know about. Because Aaron has some alpha to drop once again, which is cool. Alpha after alpha, that's great. And yeah, so we can get going with all this. We have a lot of people in today. Actually, we have, of course, we need to remember to like and subscribe from Emmett. Emmett, I think you say this on every single live stream.
Yeah, I mean, I always forget to say it, but pretty handy.
Very consistent, that's for sure.
Yeah, we got a new hashtag, Mission Base. Never heard of that. Is that yours?
I think that's just a variation of MSS on base, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, well, we got that one. We got that one too.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a typo. Maybe it was we got the MSS on base, man. That's catching on. Like
it
we're
is.
going
Yeah.
for
Oh,
this.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Do you
I was just
have a
gonna say,
question, actually? Oh, go for it.
I was just gonna say, our whole community is used to having to put the MSS on base hashtag to win the giveaways, so that's probably why those are flooding in right now.
Yeah. Well, on this stream, whoever asks the best question, I'm going to send them some tokens. So make sure you ask good questions in the live chat, and I will send something to that person. I was going to ask, actually, by everyone putting the MSS on base, putting it on Twitter and spreading it around, do you notice an improvement in the socials when people do use it?
I haven't looked too deep into the metrics on that, so good question. I'd say it probably hasn't been too beneficial so far, but the more that we keep building up the momentum, it's gonna really start helping. Like, I mean, if you do click the hashtag on Twitter or on X, you will see like all of the different posts that are all specific to MSS. So
I was going to say, I did click on the MSS on base hashtag, and I saw a whole lot more posts than there were before. So it's definitely catching on.
So we're probably like a couple days away from like global top trending, I'd say, on that hashtag. Couple days.
A couple days.
Anytime.
It'll be that, and then people being blown up by pagers. And then we're good. Yeah, so we have a couple topics to talk about. We're going to basically shoot the shit and talk about some topics that we chose beforehand. And then after we're done with some discussions, some announcements, then we're also going to get into the live chat and answer some questions. If I see any questions which are related to the topics we're going to talk about, then of course I'll bring them up, and we can also discuss your question too. That's the best way, I think, to do it. The first one, just to get out of the way, I'm going to have a chat. I listened to Aaron's AMA that they did on Tuesday, and we're talking about the new audit, which is in the works. So just we can start by just beginning with that, and just, Aaron, how's the audit going, or what's the what's the updates on this?
Yeah, so we are working with PeckShield on our audit. We've already paid them, and they were scheduled to start on Monday, but I think they might actually be starting this week. I think they had some extra availability open up. Nice. So I'm just confirming a few things back and forth with them, and they're going to get started on that. And it's a really thorough process what they're going to do. They're going to be reviewing the contracts in depth. It's not an AI tool. It's actual real humans that are, skilled in Solidity and understand security that are going to go over it. And there's going to be a lot of back and forth. And we're gonna be extremely confident in the contract moving forward.
Aaron, do you know how big the PeckShield team is? Like, how many people would actually be reviewing the contracts?
That I am not 100% sure about.
Oh, they are humans. That's what we were talking about before. They're actual real people auditing the code.
Yeah,
Which is-
that stood
yeah.
out to me when Aaron said, yeah, there'll be actual humans going through all the phases on the audit. So that was very important.
Yeah, and the other thing too that kind of came up in discussion was, the number of audits. Like there's always conversations about having more than one audit. And I used to think that too, just kind of rambling and from an echo chamber. And I think it's really, Aaron, about the quality of the audit, right? So just to make that point, we just want to let people know that this is a top tier auditing company really going through the code. So it's really not so much about the number, but the quality. And you said that right here.
100%. Yeah. I mean, I could have got more than 10 of the cheaper audits for less than I just paid PeckShield, right? So it's really not about the number of audits. It's, you really got to have a quality team that knows what they're talking about, knows what they're doing, knows vulnerabilities and how to address them. And yeah, I'm really confident in PeckShield has all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's important we just get that one out of the way, because he did already speak about in great detail on Tuesday, but I just want to mention it again so that we can spread the word that things are being done, contracts are being checked and improved, and it is an important thing. But we have other things to talk about. Of course, we are also going to talk a little bit about the migration and what's going ahead with that, because if I'm correct, right, it means that the base chain contract as is more protected from what's been going on with the mint. What happens seems to be that the price gets so high that then this exploit can be triggered once the price on Binance Smart Chain reaches a certain point. Then they're able to run this exploit, right?
Yeah. So yeah, the base contract was built after the first exploit. I mean, even before the first exploit, there was numerous improvements to the contract that would have prevented the exploit from happening. But on top of that, because it was actually deployed after the exploit, there was even additional scrutiny that was put into it to really go through it, in great detail to make sure that on numerous different levels, this is not possible to happen on base chain. If for some reason PeckShield says there's a problem there, we can migrate base as well. I mean, I highly doubt that's going to be the case, but just to throw that out there, that it is, I guess, possible that they might say, hey, something has to change. But no matter what they say, we're going to go with their recommendations, and we want to be 100% confident in all of our contracts moving forward, and so we can get to whatever 100 mil plus market cap and be 100% confident we're not going to
100 million.
not going to have any issues. That's just the starting that
100 mil. Let's go.
Sounds like liquidity.
I mean, I think the only thing holding us back right now is just a little bit of uncertainty around the security of the contract, and that's why we're paying top dollar, and we're addressing it head on, and
exactly
make sure that's just a complete non-issue, and we can resume our climb and our momentum.
Yeah, there's something to be said about that. Meaning like just kind of putting code out there and see how things work, because you're never going to find all the imperfections in a test environment, right? You actually need to go live and actually have people with big minds actually challenge the code. And then once there is somewhat of an exploit, then it's your job to reassure that, hey, we've identified it and we're going to make sure that we solve for it. And then more importantly, it's not going to happen again. That's the only way you get battle tested. So for me, if it had to happen at all, I'm glad it happened now, right? Before we got to 100 million. You understand 100%. What I'm saying? So
well said.
I'm okay with it. Yeah.
Yep. It is if a contract is my opinion that if a contract is exploitable, it should be exploited, because that's the only way to continue moving forward with cryptography, I guess, essentially, and smart contract building. So
and I think as a developer, you have to always build, anticipating that everybody's going to try to attack it any way and every way they possibly can, right? And that is going to be the reality of any contract that has any funds available to be extracted. So
and with that being said, so the word migration has been mentioned, and is it 100% certain that the Binance Smart Chain minting and staking contracts will have to be migrated?
So the staking contract's upgradable. It's not going to have to be migrated. So any suggestions that I get from PeckShield can be implemented just with simple upgrades to the contract. The token contract itself on BSC is going to need to be migrated. So there will be a new token contract address. the staking contract can actually be updated to work with that new contract. So in terms of like people staking positions and everything related to staking, nothing's going to change whatsoever. So like everything to do with the migration is going to be, as seamless as possible for the users, right? It's just going to be, when I'll announce more details after I talk to PeckShield, but the way that it's looking now is that there's just going to be a moment where we do a snapshot, and then very shortly after, we're going to airdrop tokens to everybody so that all their liquid MSS, they have them, in hand on the new contract, and staking is going to be updated at the same time, which is actually it's going to work out pretty well because our staking contract actually has all the privileges it needs to do that migration. It can mint on the token contract. Basically the staking contract has all those permissions. So I could actually just build that migration function into the staking contract and do everything in a single transaction. So it's
good. So do you think once everything's been made clear by PeckShield and you verified what they've said and you figure out the game plan, in terms of the migration, like how long a process do you think that will actually take? Because I've been through migrations in the past. Some of them took 1 month, some of them took almost a year.
That's not the speed that I dev at.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
I've been through some pretty slow migrations. Yeah. So
I think they were sleeping at the wheel, I think. But
I know you work fast. So
yeah, ours will be a lot quicker.
I don't think enough people know that it's not going to be like that. It's not going to be this long drawn out process where people are stuck holding, nothing basically and waiting and waiting on announcements and things.
No, people are going to be able to keep earning the entire time. In terms of like downtime related to a migration, like maybe a couple hours perhaps at the very most between like when we take the snapshot of the holders and when like all the tokens get airdrop to all the users, and we're looking at probably like a day or two after I get the go ahead from PeckShield is when we'll have everything done and completed. So
I was thinking even a week was like perfectly fine, but
yeah, I mean, unless there's some reason where we have to give people a lot of advance notice about something, then we might delay it by a week. But in terms of actual dev work, it's not gonna take too long.
Cool.
And Aaron, are you foreseeing any of the recommendations that PeckShield comes back with? Do you think those would take a significant amount of time to implement, or are you thinking that anything they come back with would be relatively quick fix?
Yeah, if they have any like logic changes that they want to see happen, it won't be difficult.
I think one thing that the community appreciates, Aaron, is your transparency and how open you've been on any of these issues. You haven't hid anything. And also they appreciate that you seek information before you give a response and not just shooting at the hip on information.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard some comments that, I'm a little bit too relaxed about this latest exploit. And like, I don't want that to be, that's not I'm not trying to give off that, that vibe. I was really obviously extremely upset when it happened. And, I just know that, I'm the kind of guy, I don't cry over spilt milk, right? Like if something already happened, I need to look at what's the next step. How do we get past this? And sometimes to a flaw, right? Because if you don't show that emotion or, if you're already focused on the next step, it might look like, oh, Aaron doesn't care about this, but no, that couldn't be further from the truth, right? Like it's something that, obviously I wish we would have migrated after the first exploit now, in hindsight, but I can't change the past. So, we got to just move forward and, get stronger than ever.
Yeah. I mean, it's better than being reactive, crazy reactive and emotional. That's the last thing you want from a dev or a leader, is someone who's just going to lose his shit and go insane and start smashing buttons. And, it's okay. Keep doing you, man. Keep doing you.
Absolutely. You do that behind closed doors, not in public.
Totally.
I'm sure Aaron has a punching bag somewhere in his garage or in his living room. He's taking a few swings at.
He's been an entrepreneur for over 10 years. I'm certain he's got an outlet.
So I believe, Aaron, you got something to share with us today, right?
Yeah, I do. Let's put my screen up on the stream.
Sure. Let's get some live comments. Anyone? Well, we got Trump fan. Good. Go, Doug.
So while
I'm Scottish, so I'll keep out of that one.
All right, guys. Well, so one of the things you guys are going to see right now is something I already shared in our Telegram, which is a freshly designed homepage that we're hoping is going to do a great job converting visitors to new users and kind of give people a bit more direction and, easier to navigate site. But with the migration and switching token contracts likely next week, I figured now would be a great time to do a rebranding. So you guys can probably see it there, but we've got a new logo up on the corner of the website. This is on my local test environment, so it's not live on the actual production site yet. But we got great feedback about this new logo, and it's something where I feel that we've matured as a project to a couple levels beyond where this was when it first launched. And I think that we need our logo to reflect that as well, with like another level of professionalism and just something that really we can be proud of and put on our merch that we're going to come out with real soon. And I think the new logo is going to really do a lot of great things for us. So I figured there's no better time than now with the migration. So I think I'll push this live right after the stream, or even right now I could run the command to push it live, and I'll start updating the Telegram, the X account, YouTube, update all of our socials and our token listings, and we're going to be looking at that new logo. So let me know.
So it's also a hand, right?
Yeah,
it's a hand, and it's holding is that a leaf?
A minting leaf.
Mint leaf. Very nice. Yeah, good, nice and clean.
Yeah. Wow. A month and a half. How many years is a month and a half in crypto years? Like we've already got a whole rebrand going on. We've got this beautiful like restructuring, redesign on the website. We've got audits coming. Like there's so many things happening so fast.
Yeah. Did you design the logo yourself?
No. So we're actually working with a great designer.
Cool.
And he's coming up with all kinds of different like robot characters for us to use. And he came up with a bunch of different logo designs. And he came up with all the new website designs, and I haven't done them, full justice in implementing his design like verbatim onto the site, but I've got it pretty close for my poor front end web design skills. So, but there's more improvements coming. And actually, one of the things I think you mentioned is just figuring out like how do you know what the best way to get MSS is, right? And so. Yeah. Part of he designed a lot of this stuff that you see on the Mint page, but we got this gap down here of space. So here we're going to actually put a little notification that says like either minting or swapping on either Base or BNB chain is the best way to get MSS. And I'm debating if it might actually be good to show the best way to swap out of MSS, right? So if you have MSS and you're looking to sell, well, ideally that should be done wherever the price is highest. It's better for the user, and it keeps our prices in line between the two chains. So I'm not sure if that'll fit here or if we'll put that on the swap page. But so it's gonna have a little indicator there, a nice little simple way to figure out what the cheapest way to get MSS is.
Yeah, that's perfect actually.
Yeah, I'm really happy with how the website's coming along.
People understand.
Yeah, we got a lot more website updates on the way. So
we got something from Doug saying logo looks like growth, like a growth leaf. Did the crypto arborist have anything to do with the leaf logo? Arborist,
liquidity.
Hey man, trees are good, and you don't know it, but Aaron's drink he's drinking is thickwood.
Awesome.
Yeah, wonderful Walter Grace says put it on the swap page as well.
Yeah, we could definitely put it there.
Look good there, actually. Yeah, because that was what I was thinking. Actually, just before I was like, okay, go over here, look over here, then go back over there, then look over here. It is, to see everything just centralized. Where should I buy today? Essentially, is what we need to know. What has the best price? Yeah. Which one is cheaper for purchasing? Yeah,
and as I've seen, obviously you can see right now that this is on my local environment, so these are old results because it caches it. Let me see if I refresh. It should. Okay, there we go.
There we go.
So the swap price on base chain is quite a bit higher than BNB chain right now. But I do think that as more and more people get comfortable with base chain, we're going to see those prices really move together. Because again, guys, it's important to keep in mind if you have MSS that you're looking to sell, it's in your best interest to sell it wherever it's most expensive. So you want to look at the swap prices. So you're going to get a good roughly 10% more to sell on base chain right now. And if you're buying by swapping, or if you just want to get MSS in general, the best way by far is going to be to swap on BNB chain. And again, we'll have that notification here very soon to give you a little hint about that.
I'm just stunned how we keep talking about the swap price and we haven't celebrated that we're at, almost 9 cents.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's impressive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. That is so impressive in the last, 2 or 3 days, right? They keep
Yeah.
writing us off and we just keep bouncing back. Yeah, I love it. So people are using the protocol in the right way, right? They're thinking more long-term and not so much as a cash grab. And then it also says a lot about the confidence that they have in the dev, the protocol, in the community. So people are resilient. So shout out to the community for hanging around and seeing it all the way through. It's reflected in the chart.
We were talking the other day that it's still important to take into consideration that if you got in right before the exploit and the price dropped, if you compound every day, you'll double your position in roughly 35 days. So that's token count. That's not dollar amount. So that's raw numbers to take into consideration on this.
Yeah.
Yep. And we keep pushing to higher highs and, getting those, I don't know if I should call it higher lows because of an exploit that caused it, but it is making higher highs and higher lows. And I expect the next move up after the migration to be at the next level, probably somewhere near where the minting price is on BSC.
Yeah.
Like around 23 cents. Yeah.
Can you imagine 23 cents? Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Well, a suggestion here from Renee. She says, can you also put a base logo with the link to the base MSS Dextrainer page on the top right? I guess she means like the banner.
So I was actually thinking about that. So I think they're referring to the pricing that we have at the very top to show, I guess, like have it on like the price on both chains. We could do that. Although we're getting kind of limited on space for mobile, because I know even on some mobile, there's some overlap between this menu button and the MSS price on certain phones. Might have to do with like your Zoom settings so I don't know if we could fit any more prices up there, but I do think that as base chain gets more popularity, I think that the prices are really going to be neck and neck, because as volume goes up and more people are aware that they should be selling where it's more expensive and swapping where it's cheaper. I think it's just going to continue to bring the two prices close together. I'm not sure how CoinGecko would like calculate prices once they're aware of the base contract. I don't know if they just look at whichever pool is biggest, or if they do an average based on liquidity, but we're pulling that price from CoinGecko. So I guess we could leave it up to them to, figure out the best price based on our two pools, and that's what will show up there. Although I did have some ideas where, like, right now, if you click on this, it opens the Dex Screener chart for BSC. I was thinking that either hovering on the MSS price or clicking, it could show a breakdown of maybe like your balances if you got your wallet connected, and also like the price on base and on BNB chain.
Yeah.
So that's something we could easily do.
Cool. That'd be a good
idea.
Know.
You don't have to do everything all on one site, though. Generally, what could happen with these kind of protocols is that people take it upon themselves to start making side sites for stats and really deep stats.
Dune.
And Dune Analytics or just individuals start making their own kind of tracking pages to try bring traffic to them, and they can make advertising revenue from showing up ads. A lot of these things do happen as the protocol grows as well. So you might find that someone with a lot of time will, and very into stats, will start building something similar to that. And then, because it is important as well to keep the site as understandable as possible as well.
Yeah.
For onboarding. It's a really difficult balance to try and
it really is. Right? And that's where like great user interface designers can figure out ways to kind of get that information across to the power users, but not have it be overwhelming to the more basic users, right? And it's often a more complicated solution than just having like an advanced toggle or something like that, right? There's usually some thought that has to go into it.
Yeah. It's a tricky balance. It is a tricky balance. So we have a campaign.
We do.
I was talking to Aaron just the other day, just yesterday, 2 days ago, and we were thinking, okay, what can we do to try and keep people interested, keep people motivated, and keep people trying really pushing the socials, because it is important to always continue to grow marketing from word of mouth, I think. So we decided to collab inside a campaign. We both took some money from our pockets, put it into Galks, and we're going to be giving away $500. That's right, 500 USD.
That's a lot of money.
I'm going to share that link to the campaign into the chat right now.
Yeah. So we're doing it with Galx, with Aaron's bomb account, because it's got a lot of people in it actually following. How many people you got following that account?
1/3 332K. I mean, granted, there's probably a fair bit of bots out of those, but yeah, we got a pretty decent following there.
Yep. And we made sure as well to make sure it cannot be Sybil walleted or abused and people trying to apply to this. We put in a lot of countermeasures to make sure that it will be a real person that wins. And or real people, right? So
1050 USDT prizes for 500 USDT total.
So the chance to win is pretty good.
We made the requirements pretty simple too. Just follow. There's 4 Twitter accounts to follow here. And just a couple other easy requirements and.
Yep. So we'll be focusing on pushing out two tweets with this one. One for Mint Stake Share and one for a project which I'm working on as well, which launches next week, called Arbitrum Land. We're going to continue, just like, I think it's important to work together with other developers, which I look up to you, man, Aaron. I do. Like you really are someone that we've been friends for a long time now, and you always are online. Not always online, but you're always there to help, always there and asking, do you need any help? Do you need a hand with this? And got to appreciate that, right? So we need to forge on together and keep building collaborations and building the bigger community, right? That's really what everyone in the chat should also be doing.
Really appreciate that, and I've been following your YouTube channel for years now, and really appreciate your content, and it's you've been helping out my project since ever since Bomb Money.
It's true.
Always very happy to work with you on anything.
I'll be putting the Galx into the description for this video as well, just as while we're talking and things. So I'll get that sorted quite soon as well. But yeah, that's the campaign. So we're working to give away some cash and attract some new faces, new investors to our X accounts to continue to push Mint Stake Share to higher and higher places. It's the whole plan, and that's the campaign. Yeah.
I think we got a couple questions in the chat we could probably address.
Oh yeah, I've got loads. Right, I've got some lined up. Let me come. Right. So question number 1, quite interesting. From Big Match PBA, is a Telegram game possible in the future?
So the designer that I'm working with, he actually was building a Telegram game for another crypto project, and he kind of somewhat cut ties with that project. So he's got all these resources and a great game that's almost fully developed that could almost be rebranded for MSS. Nice. So yeah, I could definitely see that in our future.
Oh, really? Interesting. Okay, that's pretty cool. Let's get some heads. Oh, there we go. All right, so you could actually think about that, right?
I mean, there's so much that we can do with MSS, right? Like the lending, people might be thinking it's going to take a year to build out, or it's not going to take anywhere near that long. It's going to be something that, that's a fork, right? There's a lot less security issues when you're working with something that's already battle tested and you're just changing variables, right? You're not reinventing the wheel there, right? So it's something where we can be very confident in the security of it, and have a very quick turnaround in terms of dev time. So there's a lot that I've got ideas about. Communities had ideas about certain things, and just yesterday actually I was just thinking about, like, what if we had like an Olympus DAO fork after that uses like MSS as like the what is it called, like the collateral, I guess you could use to like actually like get out that token, or we could do like bonding for like that protocol token where like you have to give MSS to get. I mean, there's a lot of different ways to integrate MSS into that in a fun way, and I think with the bull market, looks like it just got started in the last day or so. Right. I think there's just so much potential to launch fun projects that I have experience in that have done well in the past that could really tie in with MSS really strong, right? Lending is just the beginning of everything. So we'll keep pumping things out.
Keep building. Doug here predicts that the bull run is started. The bull run has started, says Doug. Who agrees?
I agree 100%. I'm calling for a BTC all-time high this month.
Really?
Oh, damn. Wow.
I mean, we only need 10 more K, right? It's coming.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
I'll take it.
Was a pretty bullish announcement from the Fed the other day.
The two previous times where they started the rate cuts with a 50-point rate cut were like disaster scenarios. But, it was said that the economy is actually in a good place. So to get that 50-point cut when the economy is not in shambles, that's a pretty good combination.
Yeah.
I still think it's going to be around January or February. I think we've got
FUD.
Well, it's not FUD. It's just 50 to 65. Just keeping going there for a couple more months. I think until at least January, February. I don't know. It's my gut, but I'll be happy to be wrong. Be very happy to be wrong about this. But
that's just more time to accumulate.
It's got to come eventually.
It has to. Yeah. We've been waiting a while. Yeah, it has been a while.
Yeah.
We're growing old waiting for this bull. It's true. Yeah, I've been watching the Phantom chart just this morning, and I start getting that feeling. When you're holding an altcoin and you just see that cycle just ramping up, and you're seeing the 14% pumps, and you're like, oh my god, imagine, imagine. I don't know. Which coins do you guys DCA into the most? As out of curiosity.
This cycle is a bit different than my usual, just because of the whole meme craze that's going on. So I'd say I'm probably a lot heavier in memes than I ever would normally be. But no, I like all the, I like a bunch of the big meme coins. Like I think they're all have a lot of like 5-10x potential, like Pepe, Whiff, stuff like that. I like all the utility coins, like the L1 coins, like Sol, AVAX, Phantom, all that stuff. Those are my big plays, I'd say.
I'm just building a BNB, man. I'm just focusing on BNB and BTC, and of course MSS. Like those are my home run plays right there.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm BNB Avalanche right now. That's really my two plays. Putting a bag on Ethereum a little bit, but yeah, that's kind of the trifecta for me.
Crypto Knight, what about you?
Okay, is that me? My connection went out. Can you guys hear me?
Oh,
still?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. So,
we're just waiting for your answer now.
all right, so
so we
haven't mentioned long shot, but I still have faith in the Richard Hart ecosystem. So I am DCA into his ecosystem. So PLX, Inc. are my favorites. I do play around with BNB, ETH, and little BTC. There are some goals that I'm trying to get for my family. So once I take care of those, then I'll be a bit more risk on. But right now it's MSS, Pulse Chain, and then obviously the core coins.
I've never really dabbled in Pulse Chain. Maybe now's a good time to take a little flyer.
You should look at this one. Pulse, the Grace currency. I love this coin. They have two of them, Pulse Grace currency and UFO. Don't know who Jay Parper, but great projects, fantastic projects.
I agree. And to your point, Rich, when you wake up and you see your alts are up like today, like 20%, it's like, oh my, what? Yeah, you made the right decisions finally. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. Okay, we have some other
definitely pays off in this.
Oh, it does, man. It does. Just have to keep. Oh, well, here we have Moonshot Max. Keep your mind focused on your goals. MSS setting itself up for a bullish bull run. This is true. This is exactly what you're saying, essentially. MSS on Peck Shield. Okay, some other question.
That's a good one.
Yeah. We have a couple other questions here. So some of them we spoke about before. So for example, here I'll answer that. So Bliss TV says, how can migration prevent what happened before? Because the contract is being audited once again. I think now third time.
Yeah.
for this to prevent what happened before. This is the whole purpose of what's happening here.
Actually, I guess it's important to say, I haven't really said it yet this stream, that the second exploit didn't happen on a revised contract. There was adjustments made to a bunch of variables that were supposed to make it not profitable to have another exploit, right? That's where things went wrong. So it's not like we fixed it and we still had a problem. I mean, we fixed it in a way, but we didn't fix it through actually changing code in the contract. So now we're actually getting to the root of the issue to actually address the problem right from the root, right? So it's a different game. Yeah.
As go the roots, so goes the tree.
Very true.
Thank you, arborist.
Yeah, bad arborist joke.
Should have known a tree reference was coming there.
Hey,
Perfect tree reference.
that's my mojo.
We have a long question from MoCrypto77. He says, question for Aaron. How long are you working on promoting the base version of the protocol? Do you think the chart looks is a limiting factor? How are you going to avoid community dilution between Binance Smart Chain and Base? So
some good questions. So we did somewhat take it easy on the base marketing after we had the exploit, just because of everything that was going on and just being busy dealing with everything related to that. So I think we would have had a much bigger explosion on base had that not have been the case over the weekend. In terms of the chart, so we did actually adjust the base price down prior to going live to prevent having too bad of a looking chart. It did still launch at a much higher price than BSC. So just to show everyone what you're referring to.
Oh, sorry. Oh
yeah. I forgot that I wasn't sharing. So here's the 4-hour chart. So I mean, we're moving back up, but yeah, it did launch at 50% higher than what BSC was at the time. So because of that, the chart's going to start like that. I don't think that's going to cause any real issues. I think the community is going to know that, right? You're going to buy it where it's cheaper. You're going to sell it where it's more expensive. It's just more opportunities of different ways to get involved. So I think the chart is going to, the base chart's going to be at all-time highs, sometime in the future. I'm confident in. So yeah, I don't think that start to the chart's going to be much of a problem.
And I think that first initial move was kind of expected. I mean, because the minting was already live a few days before, so people were already kind of stacking up coins. So it's pretty expected that they just try to dump as soon as they can. But that recovery and that kind of rebalancing that's taking place right now is looking really good.
Yeah, it looks great, Mike. You are spot on that.
Well, and it's to be expected. If one price is 50% higher than the other, I mean, I'd be wondering if everybody was sleeping if it didn't get sold down, right?
Exactly.
I think there was still one more part to that question. How are you going to avoid community dilution between BSC and base? So I've had this question before. I don't, I feel that a lot of this comes down to having, all of our users in the same Telegram chat. There's no split communities, like having, different groups of people. Our website is being designed in a way to kind of bring both chains together. So, we're showing stats for both chains where it makes sense to. We're still making improvements to show notifications for mints and for stakes that are going to show across both chains. Right now, it's only showing for the active chain that you're on. So I think there's a lot of ways that we can, improve the user experience that's going to just kind of bring both chains together. So it really makes no difference if you're, participating in MSS on base or BSC, you're part of that same great community, and that's pushing things forward. It doesn't really matter which chain you choose. I think that's, a lot of that comes from the fact it's a bridge token, right? It's the same project on both chains. It's the same token. You can get your token wherever you want, and you can bridge it and stake it on the other one if you want. So I really think it's just going to help grow the community. I don't think it's going to cause any dilution or anything like that.
Okay, good answers.
I don't really think it's a community dilution. It's more like a community synergy. I think really it's like the two communities coming together, and when you bridge those tokens back and forth, it's bullish for wherever you're bridging from, because it's the burn bridge. So when you bridge from BSC to base, you're burning that supply on BSC, which is bullish for that price, and when you bridge over from base to BSC, same thing, it's bullish for that price. So I think it's more of a synergy more than a dilution.
Agreed. And also, when you expand the base, you add the potential for more users to onboard and enjoy the benefits of MSS. So 100% bullish.
Yeah, it gives you access to another blue chip, Ethereum. You create another position on base, you start getting those Ethereum minting rewards, and then you have on BNB getting those BNB rewards. That's awesome for anybody's portfolio.
Absolutely.
I think the best way to look at it is that, with our focus on thick liquidity and our LP size and stability.
Thick liquidity.
I think having, building up the two pools, one on each chain, is just going to exponentially increase those, extremely important factors like LP and stability. So I think overall it's just beneficial in every way.
Talking about LP, we have Pascal says, can we use the same locked LP with the new BSC contract?
So I'll get into details about exactly how this is going to work once we're closer to the migration. But, the way that we're doing it right now is
Yeah.
As I mentioned earlier, our staking contract has all the permissions it needs to be able to perform a migration, which means that that's going to look something like, minting a bunch of tokens to basically sell down the original token to be able to extract that BNB, and in that same transaction, making the new LP with the new contract with all the BNB from the original LP, and then sending all those LP tokens to the burn address, right? So it's all going to happen seamlessly. Liquidity can move; it's not a problem.
Okay, good.
I mean, but we will tell everybody well in advance because it's going to make the old chart look horrible. It's going to look like a rug. So, so because of that, we definitely need to communicate that extremely well and have people know what to expect, and not trying to buy the token when it's at a fraction of a penny after that happens, because at that point the snapshot will have already been taken. So buying the token at those ultra low levels after we do that, it's not going to help you. So
good. Minting 0.11 ETH on base right now. Good job, Joshua. Yeah.
So let's switch to base so we can see the notification. Okay, actually, never mind. I forgot we were actually on the screen.
Richie, I think something to reinstate to everybody, even if you're new, this is your first day seeing MSS. Set your goals, not in dollar amount, but in token count, what you want to get to, and then claim responsibly. That's what all of us preach all the time.
Yep. Oh, Bitcoin's busting 64K.
Wow.
Up.
Let's go.
Love it. I'm just waiting for the little brother to respond to that thing called ETH to start moving.
Oh yeah,
that'd be nice.
Yep. It started moving, I think. I mean, it's still got a long
way to go, but... Claim it.
Yeah, so we need that one.
Claim it up in this chat, man.
That's right. So let's claim ETH to 9,000 by year end.
Hey, it is done right now.
Put it out in the universe. Let's go.
This Raffles Andaluza has asked this about 10 times. When MSS on Pulse Chain? That's a question and a half. What's your opinion on Pulse Chain, Aaron?
To be honest, I've never really used it. I mean,
what?
Yeah, just to be honest. I mean, I know unpopular opinion, but I think in terms of looking for like an ultra cheap chain, I think there's alternatives now that are much better supported and recognized. Like something like Base, where transactions are almost cheap and backed by Coinbase. I think that takes away a lot of the advantages that Pulse Chain had. Just my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, but
I think one of the most attractive things though isn't the price on Pulse Chain. It's the fact that it's aimed to be the truly decentralized chain. I guess is maybe one of the ethos of it.
Yeah. So I think something else that's really important is, Base chain, the native token is ETH, right? So when we expand to a chain, we need that native to be rock solid for, MSS and its stability and its LP, right? So I don't know if that would be the case on Pulse Chain.
Not this year, no.
Correct.
I think it's down
this year. Yeah.
Yeah, it's down about.
I'm not saying
onboarding. Yeah, everyone has ETH or a variation of ETH in their wallets. So in terms of really onboarding a mass amount of people relatively quickly without having to bridge different tokens, Base feels right. Yeah, it just feels right.
Well, again, I don't want to be
Coinbase has said several times that they're not going to be releasing another coin. Like it's ETH. That is their coin. They're not going to have a Coinbase coin. Which is very good for any protocols that are building on it.
And I'll just be honest, I've seen guys in the MSS chat that have been looking to get assets off Pulse Chain, and the way to bridge from Pulse Chain, just from again being an outside observer, right? You got to go through this specific bridge, then you got to use this, and it just doesn't seem to be well supported by a lot of the major protocols that people are really familiar with and are already using. So that's a bit of a setback.
Good. Actually, that brings me on to the next topic I was going to ask you about, which is Base Chain, right? And it's the simplest way to for someone new to the protocol who's looking to start. Would you suggest? I guess so. Right now, the best place to start right now would be on Base Chain as opposed to starting on Binance Smart Chain, right? Or would you? What's your thoughts on it?
So. I mean, like I always say to the community, it always comes down to preference, but for a new user, they may not have a preference yet. I mean, I guess in that case, it's always going to be true that, this keeps reverting back to the should probably just go on the real site instead of using the local one. So, I mean, it's always going to be beneficial to get your tokens where it's cheapest. So I guess if someone had no preference right now and they were brand new, I'd for sure tell them to get their tokens on BSC because it's, you know, about 10% cheaper.
Yeah.
If that wasn't the case though, I mean, yeah, I don't know, probably base would be a better choice for somebody brand new. I mean, it's cheaper. It's got more momentum, I think, than BSC.
Yeah, I was looking at the price of compounding on base compared to Binance Smart Chain actually, and it is quite a lot cheaper to multiple compounds per day, and still not going to match up to the gas fee of 1 on the Binance Smart Chain.
Yeah, I think on BSC, I know some guys are paying like 4 or 5 cents for a compound. I think the default in MetaMask is like roughly 15 cents. Yesterday, somebody was asking about the prices of gas on base, so I just checked a couple things real quick. And compounding, it was rounding the price to 0 cents. Right, it was like less than half a cent, I guess. I was trying to do things on our DApp that would cost more money in gas, and the only thing I could do that would get the gas up to 1 cent was to do a swap with an auto stake, and then that cost 1 cent. But if I did a swap without the auto stake, or if I did a sell, the gas was rounding down to 0. Right, so it's extremely cheap.
That's awesome.
Although I'm not too familiar with this, but I believe that as ETH gas prices go up, I think that is going to impact the base gas. I'm sure it's still going to be extremely cheap, but it might not stay at those 0 levels.
You mean it may double to 2 cents?
Ooh. It may.
Ooh.
Oh no!
Break the bank.
Nice. We got 150 live viewers right now for this. 140.
That's a ton.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
fantastic.
Congratulations.
You should all be sharing this link around and getting more people involved in Mint Share, right? And the other thing I wanted to ask about base chain is, so once we get past this the sticky situation that we're working through at the moment with Peck Shield and migration, do you have a grand idea for how you're going to approach the marketing for, of course, the pre-migration, which would I be correct saying it's going to be a new chart for the token? Yeah. Fresh new chart on Binance Smart Chain, and of course the giving base chain the opportunity to grow without any doubt, you know, in the mind of new investors or current investors. So do you have a plan for what kind of marketing approach you're going to take for when we get to that stage?
Nothing ultra detailed at this point, but you know, as always, we're gonna, we'll be very willing to spend whatever we got to spend to, get things going. Yeah, I mean, we'll keep doing all the great things we've been doing, and we'll try some new things. And with all the website updates that we've already implemented and that are still to come, I've been saying this for a while that, once I feel the website's in a better position to convert visitors to actual users, I'd be happy to run ads. I got an account with Ads and Coinzilla. Those are the two major crypto advertising firms. So I've got those accounts already set up and good to go. Actually, I got a Google AdWords account that I could also get going for Google search ads, although that'll probably get shut down pretty quick for doing crypto stuff, but could definitely run that until it gets shut down. So you can definitely drive a lot of traffic to the site. I just want to make sure we can convert that traffic to users.
Yeah. Xtoshi saying base. Oh, yes. Yes.
What I can tell you, Richie, my mother, she is 83 years old and is a proud MSS holder. And she's actually sat down with her friends that are of the same age. And they from a new user perspective, they say, what app can I download to do this? And their grandchildren or older that are my age, they are familiar with Coinbase. So when it comes to a familiar app or product, they go, oh, okay, it's that instant buy-in of this is a mainstream app where you can onboard. So I agree. Base is going to bring the novice users on board and have that higher likelihood of buy-in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And moving ETH from base chain to Coinbase and back is so fast. It's a really great way to deploy your capital really fast or take your profit quite fast as well. So yeah, it's a good point. Is a good point actually. 83, nice. Well, tell your mom to compound.
She's down there doing it right now.
Good, man.
Well, we got another question here I'd like to answer.
Okay.
About bridging MSS from Miyagi.
Yeah. Oh, I was looking at that one. Let me find it for you. There. Yeah, I was thinking about this as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So the question is, would it be possible to bridge the MSS token to any EVM chain and make a pair on that chain? I.e., could someone create a project on another EVM chain without needing Aaron's approval? So the way that the bridge works is essentially there's pretty much any bridge contract that's going to interact with the MSS token on any of our chains is got to be deployed from the deployer wallet. There's a combination of a salt that was like a random hex string combined with the deployer wallet itself that basically gives the token manager the specific address that it gets. And I mean, without going into too many details, essentially the MSS contracts have give minting privileges to the token manager, and that token manager is a predetermined address that is determined partly by the deployer wallet. So because of that, nobody else could deploy anything that could ever mint any MSS. Not sure how well I explained that, but yeah, we could easily expand to any other EVM chain that we want as long as I deploy those things specifically from the deployer wallet, and I use that same salt that I created originally for this bridge. So yeah, nobody else could do it, but we definitely could.
What's your opinion on people starting and creating dApps on Binance Smart Chain or on Base Chain using MSS as the token?
Bring it on. Don't have to ask me for permission. Start building.
Cool. Good. So you fully support this. Of course, they have to be trusted and all these.
Well, I mean, if I'm going to say anything about it to our community, it's got to be trusted. But I can't control what other people build. So if people build stuff, so be it. Yeah.
Good. On that note, actually, so I was going through Twitter today, and I found a new Twitter account called MSS Robot.
Oh yeah, actually, I meant to bring that up.
Okay. Did you make this?
I could open it up on my screen.
Sure.
Does he have a name? What's the robot's name?
Moonstake Share.
Okay.
There you go.
Let me find this.
So yesterday I had the idea because we have our main Mint Stake Share X account, and that's our main protocol account where all of our announcements are going to come out of and all of the important updates are going to come from. But it's not really ideal to use that account to hype up MSS. Like, for example, when you have an influencer that says, which coin on BNB chain should I look into next, right? Or stuff like that. You want to, it's great to reply to those immediately and then get the community to raid them. So I had a account kicking around that is premium. I just changed all the info, so it's not showing premium right now. But I just had a spare account. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to repurpose this for Mint Stake Share. I called it Moonstake Share, and with the name MSS Robot, and I've given that to our designer guy. Is going to be helping us out a bit with pushing out some tweets with replies to KOLs, stuff like that, and we're going to be rating that. And yeah, I think it's going to be really bullish to be able to get the word out about MSS, and doing this on a dedicated account that's strictly dedicated to MSS is something that I'm happy to raid that stuff in our TG.
Cool. Yeah, I've seen this method deployed by other projects before. They usually say it's like the apprentice, or they essentially open up a side Twitter account to then give more stats, give more information, and make it not seem as though the main account is continuously just spam shilling, right?
Yeah, you don't want the main account to be spamming.
Yeah, exactly. So they can kind of move to this one to get a lot more detail and kind of funny things, and yeah, it's a great idea actually. So.
Yeah.
And I did notice it today. It came up in my feed. Boom. That means something's working, right?
Pretty sure I followed you from it.
That's it. He's stalking me.
Yep. Gotta follow all the key guys on X.
Joshua says, my mom was my first referral.
Congratulations.
Me too.
Awesome.
Joking. It's too easy. It was too easy. Good.
My mother wouldn't get into crypto no matter what I said. I don't think so. I won't be getting that referral.
My mom has no idea that I even own any Bitcoin. She's just she's not that kind of person.
Yeah.
My dad's kind of interested in this, but I tried to keep him a little bit away because I never want to have the responsibility of a family member coming to me and saying, I just lost this and it's your fault. So I generally try to keep what I do with high risk away from most people that I know, that I know aren't already into it. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yep.
But to be honest, it's never really had. I did introduce a couple of people to some projects in the last bull run, and they did really well from it. So it's, you know, it's a balance. Richie was my first referral. That's right. This is my upline. Richie, it's 2 a.m. Go to bed. It's not 2 a.m. It is 7 p.m. in Scotland. Maybe he's in China.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds like Hong Kong time. 2
Yeah,
a.m.
possibly. Yeah. Cool. And on that as well, I was meant to ask one more question, but it slipped my mind. Oh yeah, it was. So I noticed as well on your other Twitter account, you always have pretty eye-catching and quite nice AI created MSS content. Different ads and things that are like always different, always the same kind of color schemes of like blues and whites. And who creates them?
I think you're probably referring to stuff that's been created by Mike Crypto Cuban.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Most
Nice.
most of the MSS media that we've shared pretty much like up to now has mostly been my creations, and then now I guess we're going to be moving over to this little robot guy, which I'm actually really looking forward to what this designer can come up with. But
Cool.
yeah, I've had a great time. I mean, I do professional photo media and video media, you know, as a living. So when MSS came around, I was just like, yes, let's do it. I just put all my heart and soul into it, created all these things to kind of boost MSS up, you know, not because I was getting paid, but because it's my passion and I love MSS and I definitely want it to moon. So anything I can do to help that, I was very ready, willing, and able to do it.
Yeah, because that's actually some advice. Because when I make videos on MSS, I always think, okay, I want to try and make an eye-catching thumbnail. I want to make something that people will click on, so that I can promote the platform. But of course, the mint-stake share, the share element of mint-stake share is so strong that if you can manage to onboard more people, you can make a lot of crypto from it, a lot of passive income. So I generally look through the Twitter on MSS and I find these images which you guys put out. I'm like, oh, that's fantastic. That's a great background, you know. And then I pull that and then I put it into my thumbnail, move it around a bit. So, and it, you know, they really do help with onboarding actually. So I've used quite a few of your I guess your artwork for my own thumbnails actually.
I've noticed that, and they are free for all the community to use. You know, you don't have to give me credit or anything. Just go ahead and share them. You know, you're able to do that. And I've noticed on your videos, on Moonshot Max's videos, I like he cuts out some of the characters sometimes, puts them on his. So that's awesome. I love seeing that.
Yeah, Mike, thank you, man. Those are made for really good thumbnails. The images, I just really appreciate your
man.
hard work.
Glad to do it.
Yeah, I think we all really appreciate that work. But again, you know, what we just heard from Mike is, I think, a strong reason for MSS's success so far. There's, you know, not just Mike feels that way about MSS, right? There's a lot of us, all of us here, everybody in the community. We all feel so strongly about the project and about what the future looks like that we're all very confident to put effort in to improve it, to get the word out, to make content, and that's really what's been driving us forward.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, my wife will come downstairs and she'll see my computer and she sees I'm working on an image. She's like, "You're doing another image? Didn't you just finish one?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I got another one, and another one after that, and another one after that." It never stops. Never stops until we're at the moon, and then we'll keep on going past that.
Absolutely,
100%.
Yeah, just to remind people, if you're coming a bit later to the stream, we have put up a competition to win USDT, real dollars at the moment. USDT dollars. We have a prize pool of 500 USDT, $50 going to 10 people up on Galx. You'll see the link going around in Twitter and in Telegram after the stream, where you can join up and get in the chance to win. You know, it's just little bit of social engagement that they're working on at the moment.
I'll be sure to share that as well tonight.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't think we mentioned the when it's running till. So it's already started and it's running till the end of the month. So the winners will all be drawn right at the end of the month.
And that's just one raffle, right? Because we have the other raffle that's ongoing too for the 0.01 BNB and 0.001 ETH or something like that, right?
Yes. So actually, I thought you were going to talk about something else. So we actually have 3 of them going on right now. Then,
oh,
so we have,
okay.
So we have
really
we have the buy competitions. We have the BNB raffle buy competition. Then we have the ETH raffle buy competition. Then we also have another Galaxy campaign in addition to the one that we just launched with Richie.
Good.
Good.
Let's go,
So-
man.
Yeah.
How do the
Love
buy
raffle.
competition? Can you tell us about the buy competition? How do they work?
Yeah. So when we set those up, we have the option of doing like biggest buy or raffle buy. So lately we've been doing raffle buy to get everybody included. So all that you need to do is anytime that you swap to MSS, if you're doing it on BNB chain, minimum 0.1 BNB, and that will get you a ticket. So if you're going to do like a 2 BNB buy, you could do 20 separate 0.1 BNB buys to get 20 different tickets to the raffle. That's something you can do. And the same thing on ETH or on base. So you can, any buys that are over 0.02 ETH are going to get you an entry. So again, if you're doing a bigger buy, you could split them up into smaller 0.02 ETH buys.
Great. And it's just picked up by the contract, and then you're automatically entered into it, right?
Yeah,
No
the buy
application
bot
needed.
The buy bot handles it, so it's just tracking all the entries, and then once the raffle competition's done, it will just tell us who the winners are.
All right, I'm just going to buy a ticket. Dun, dun.
Let's go.
Yeah. So it's a 0.1 minimum, right, for the
For
ticket,
BNB?
right?
Yep.
Yeah, cool. Excellent. I mean,
Richie, always supporting.
yeah, I know. I want to win. What are you talking about supporting?
Yeah, exactly.
You should buy on base, then we have a lot less tickets sold there.
Oh yeah. Well,
Mhm.
that's it. Then we need to push the base then, right? Push out
Yep.
that
Yeah.
base. I think that's really that's why I asked you about marketing as well, because it is true. Like what Mike was saying, that is a lot of the marketing that comes from Mint State Share is also just from community and from people with skills and talents who want to build and want to kind of promote the network and things. That's exactly like, so I think a good way that anyone who wants to support Mint State Share, wants to grow your bags, and also, continue making sure that we're all going to make more passive income for longer, is that find your talent and then push it and think, okay, so how can I attract people to base chain? How can I send out the word? How can I, capture people's attention? If there are so many talented people in crypto, and
Definitely.
like so many skills, it's such a wide array of different skills that are needed to make projects successful. So get on it, guys. Like, really, there's so much that you can do to help out.
Hey, Richie, there's a comment from Joshua, and this is actually something I would encourage everybody to do. I'm one of them that did it myself. Guys, if you want to come up with creative ways to share your link, start a YouTube channel. Start talking. Just as they say on YouTube, just hit record and go, and we will support you, because the more you share it, the more it benefits the protocol as a whole. This is one big community. I mean, I'm a tiny YouTuber, and if this channel grows, cool. If it doesn't, I'm still getting the word out about the project. So just bear that in mind, guys. This is not a competition of channels up here. We're here to help everybody.
Totally. And then if you don't have that type of courage, the smallest yet impactful thing you can do for the community is share, reply, and retweet. I promise you that will feed the algo, and they will get more and more eyeballs on the ecosystem. I promise you, it's such a small thing to do. Like whenever we have those Twitter raids, they should be done within 5 minutes, literally.
Yep.
Literally, with the number of people that we have. So just take that small step, right? Just share, like, reply. I promise you that will be impactful.
And if you're not on Telegram, you are doing yourself a disservice. Get on the Mint State Share Telegram, guys. That is where all the information you can get it the quickest there.
Yes.
And don't forget to hook up your Twitter account or your X account with the radar bot that we have in our TG. That lets you do everything that Night just mentioned just by pressing the one button, the smash button, which looks like the fist on the raids.
Yeah, I did that the other day. Very easy. I thought it'd be a bit complicated, but it was very easy. I clicked on the bot in the Mint State Share Telegram. It said link your Twitter. I linked my Twitter, and then now when a tweet comes up, I just have to press one button, and it does everything for me, right? Automatic.
Yeah.
This smart bot, very smart bot. How did you find that one? I'd never heard of it.
I saw it used in a few different channels, and I think they actually also have reached out to us. Actually, we've got a private chat going with a bunch of the devs there to answer any questions that we got. Yeah, happy to bring you in there if you want to start using that and you have any questions for them. They're really responsive.
And it's free, right?
Yep.
Crazy. I was looking at this one bot. They wanted 0.2 ETH to just run a raid bot, you know, making bank. Making bank. Yeah. Right. So that's 1 hour we've been on for, which is quite a long time, but it's good. Enjoying myself. It's really nice to get the time to talk to all four of you, man. It's great. And I'd like we can end the stream just by telling me, you know, where people can find you guys. And where your social links are, you know, and how to find. So we can start with Drip to Wealth. Like, tell anyone who doesn't know you, then where to find you, right?
Yeah, so I'm mostly on Twitter at Drip to Wealth, and within TG, it's actually Crypto Night 72.
Cool. And Crypto Cuban.
So yeah, definitely follow me on my Twitter. Not only have my personal Twitter, which is Crypto Cuban, but also as a member of the Warriors DAO. We have the Warriors DAO Twitter page, which is definitely a huge MSS supporter. You know, everything we do is for our projects as well as MSS success. So definitely find us on Twitter, and we also have our own Telegram page, which is the Warriors Official. So you find us on there too.
Yeah, feel free to post links to your guys' accounts in the chat if you want to.
Yeah, I can collect them afterwards, put them in the description as well.
Oh, okay, cool.
And Arborist?
Yeah, so cryptocurrency related, you can find me on YouTube under the Crypto Arborist, and follow me on X. That is PT Arborist. I just put a link in the chat. I didn't take it. PT Arborist on X and the Crypto Arborist on YouTube. Swing by, make sure you like and subscribe, and I have obviously my tree themed related mint stake share post that takes just a unique spin on a great project.
And my X account is just at Aaron Shames. Oh, you guys probably all following me already, but in case you're not.
Yeah, we know who you are.
Yes,
man.
Aaron, we do. Take another sip of Thickwood.
One last question here from Josh, who said he plans on making a YouTube channel for promoting MSS. Are there any rules that need to be followed from MSS to do this?
Stay bullish.
Yeah.
Bullish videos only.
Yeah, it's my pet hate when you find a YouTuber and then suddenly you come back to watch a video on them and they're like, oh no, oh you hate the project now. Okay, it just switches, right? Oh, they're tough.
Well, speaking of that, we've had a couple FUD videos, surface recently, and it's guys have brought it to my attention. But the best way to address that is to keep doing what we're doing and keep executing and to prove them wrong, right? So I'm not going to address them directly because there's not any valid claims made in any of them. So they can say what they want, and success is going to show in the chart. Yeah, exactly.
Here we go.
I like it.
I'm a firm believer of positivity when promoting. It's your brand essentially, or your channel, or your voice. There's no reason to get into mud thrown fight with other people online. Life's too short.
Yes.
Let's answer that last question real quick. One that was just posted.
Sure. Let me scroll down. Okay. From Naveen Thomas. Can we ask for money refund from the previous auditor who has done the audit for MSS contract, as it's their fault that they didn't able to detect a potential flash loan exploit?
Yeah, while I do agree 100% that there's no way in the world that should have got by an auditor. Unfortunately, they're just looking for the next customer to take a few bucks from. They're not going to do anything about it. They're not going to give us a refund. It wasn't nearly as expensive as PeckShield, but it's lost funds at this point. Yeah. Appreciate you looking out.
Yeah, that's crypto. A lot of the time. So I'm gonna give the prize that's gonna come from me to Joshua, actually, because if you're planning on making a YouTube channel talking about MSS, then I'm gonna support you by sending you some MSS tokens. Okay.
Nice.
So
congratulations.
Hopefully I can find you on, I could manage to hopefully to message you on the YouTube, but if you could either get to my Twitter or get to my Telegram, the links are in the description for those, and message me and I will talk to you and I'll send you over some tokens, man. So congratulations, because we've got to support the new creators, the new generation. I'm tired.
Man, this is fun. We got to do this again soon.
No, man, this is great. This is really fun. Good.
Hey, Rich,
So,
I just sent you my YouTube and Twitter links in Telegram.
Fantastic. Good. After we finish the stream, I'm going to put them into the descriptions and people can find you guys, and we can all link up. Great.
Great.
If anyone else has anything else to say before we wrap up this stream.
Thank you for letting me be here. It's humble to be here. Looking forward to growing my channel and talking some more MSS.
Good, man. Make yourself at home.
Yeah. I just ask people to stay patient and remain bullish. Like, that's the one thing we want to rush to an end. It's a journey in crypto. It really is. These cycles are long, and we've only been around for 6 months. And I want people to really celebrate our wins. There have been a number of wins within 6 weeks. So just stay patient. We'll get there.
Yeah, this is only the beginning for MSS, and from a guy that brings in the everyday terms, there's a whole lot more coming. Aaron, we're excited, man. That's to say the least.
Yeah, I know. I just want to, really thank the community for, understanding with everything that's happened, and and that I really do appreciate everything that everyone's doing to get us to the next level, and the confidence in the team and the project, and I see really great things ahead, and stay bullish.
Yeah, and moreover on what you're saying, Aaron, after all these audits, we're going to be starting from experience. When these same things will not happen again after all these audits, and you're wiser. We're all wiser now because of all these things that have happened. So we're going to put that in our arsenal and make sure that we use that to make MSS bulletproof and bomb-proof and everything that's necessary.
Right on.
All right.
Good. Just trying to contact Joshua. Yeah. Good. Well, thanks very much, guys. Hopefully I can pop over to your guys' channel sometimes and we can talk more about Mint Stake Share. I'd love to.
Whenever you want to, man.
Yeah.
Talk about crypto and trees.
Nice. Yeah. I was watching a TV show about an arborist yesterday, actually. It was a survival on Netflix where they had a bunch of different people with different skills and they had to just survive in the wilderness. And there was
really
an arborist. Cool. Yeah.
Hey, I love it. I like it already.
Yeah, he did pretty well, actually. Cool. All right. Well, thanks everyone, and I will see you guys next time.
All right.
Thanks,
everyone.
Don't get wrecked, right?
Don't get wrecked.
Don't get wrecked.